behalf of National Institute of Advanced Studies, it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to this workshop on science and technology for countering terrorism in 2014 and beyond. Special word of welcome to Dr. Jeanloz and Augustine, who are in the inaugural session, and the entire team from the United States. We are meeting on this very same topic after a gap of about almost a decade. In 2004, we had a meeting on terrorism, and now we are meeting again in 2014. It's my personal perception that perhaps international terrorism is the biggest threat which this world is going to face in the coming years. If it is not already doing it, it will face in the coming years, because everything else can be handled, but not this, because this is neither the two sides well identified, nor the methodologies identified, nor the methodologies to counter the steps taken. I am personally of the view that apart from the technological weapons which we have to fight terrorism, public perception molding is a very, very important component of this. You cannot handle terrorism unless you handle public perceptions. We are seeing it more and more in several places, and handling public perception is an art in itself, and an art in which the scientists and technologists were very poorly equipped. Of course, our business houses know how to handle this very well, but they don't look at terrorism or other related issues. So I hope some of these issues will be discussed in detail during the meeting, and I once again welcome all of you, and I think this will be one forward step between the two countries who have been suffering from terrorism related activities for quite some time. Thank you very much. May I invite Dr. Jeanloz to make his comments?
Thank you so much, Dr. Ramamurthy, for your kind welcome and introduction. Thank you. I would especially like to thank you and your colleagues on behalf of the U.S. National Academy of Sciences Committee on International Security and Arms Control, CSAC, which has been meeting with counterparts here in India for 15 years now, all under the auspices of NIAS. Our dialogue is unofficial and independent, yet is supported and closely followed by our government in the U.S. And we start with a technical focus, of course, but address issues of significance to both of our countries, just as you were mentioning now. So for all of these reasons, your sustained efforts, the sustained efforts here at NIAS, and the support have been invaluable over the years, and we deeply appreciate your hospitality, including the support for obtaining visas for events such as the present meeting. As you mentioned, we have had many joint projects over this 15-year time period, including workshops 10 years ago on science and technology for countering terrorism, and again 1.5 years ago, a slightly different but related topic on technical aspects of civilian nuclear security. The Goa meeting 10 years ago came after the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attack on the United States. And of course, since that time, India has suffered the trauma of major terrorist attacks, notably on July 11th, 2006 and November 26th, 2008 in Mumbai, and those are among other events. So it's, in my view, time for us to reinvigorate discussions in support of enhanced security for our two democracies. We on the U.S. side have much to learn from your experiences here in India, your experiences, your policies, and your planning. And we hope to make useful contributions from our end as well. So without further ado, I look forward to the present workshop, which brings together outstanding experts from technical and policy domains, and importantly, also includes colleagues who have significant operational experience in the field. So without further delay, I propose turning the floor over to Dr. Norman Augustine, who chairs our delegation from the U.S. Thank you very much.
Well, good morning, everyone, and may I say that it's a particular honor to be able to co-chair this gathering with such a prestigious individual and friend as Dr. Ramamurthy. I've already learned a good deal from him before we even begin, because we had some time together in India as a part of the planning session for this conference. And as you can see by looking around the room, we've gathered a remarkable collection of experts that can help deal with the field of terrorism, experts from both India and the United States. And I would hasten to mention that this is a workshop, not a meeting, and that we're all here to work. And it's only appropriate that we should do this together as citizens of the two largest democracies in the world. Sadly, we also have in common that we have both of our countries have suffered from the effects of terrorism. And I should begin, though, by thanking each of you for your commitment to this endeavor. And I should especially thank the members of the two planning committees for all the work that you've done to put together this workshop. And I would thank our Indian colleagues for the remarkable hospitality we received during the planning visit, already during this visit, and particularly for the wonderful weather you've arranged. That we're extremely pleased by that. I, of course, appear here solely as an individual, a member of the National Academy of Sciences in the United States, and it's in that spirit that I look forward to learning a great deal and sharing any ideas I might be able to offer. And in order to facilitate conversation and a focus on real-world problems, the Planning Committee decided to emphasize case studies and lessons learned from those case studies. So this will be a few days of true reality, and we'll be addressing a broad spectrum of incidents that range all the way from terrorism itself to natural disasters from which both our nations have suffered and from which we've had to recover. None of the challenges are straightforward, but they're certainly all important. And in looking at natural disasters, we'll look at ways to prepare for and to deal with highly disruptive events. Most of my own firsthand experience is in the field of natural disasters. I had the fortune to spend 9 years as chairman of the American Red Cross, where we worked together with our colleagues from other nations during a period in which the world suffered from tornadoes, cyclones, earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, fires, drought, almost anything one can think of. And there are indeed lessons to be learned. Our task here these next couple of days is not an easy one. Understanding why humans would want to harm other humans who are basically innocent humans is in itself not readily comprehensible, but in the world in which we live, it seems likely that terrorist activity will increase rather than decrease. The danger that terrorists will eventually obtain weapons of mass destruction seems to grow with each day. This poses to our nations, to the world, and to this group the need to look for root causes, for root solutions to the challenges that are thereby posed. And I'll have the opportunity to speak more a little bit about what is kind of a theme that runs through this meeting, namely, through this workshop, namely the systems approach to counterterrorism. And until then, I will just once again thank our Indian colleagues, thank my associates from the United States, and hope that we can collectively make a contribution to our countries and to the world. Thank you.